For about 2 years, we have shifted and focused our business to work with clients mainly who are moving from out of state and out of country to Northern Colorado. And during that time, we have dialed in our systems to help these people make a massive transition in their lives as smooth as possible. So today we are going to talk to you about the 5 steps when moving to Fort Collins, Colorado in 2022. What's up, everybody? My name is Patrick Soukup with Soukup Real Estate Services here in Fort Collins. And if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing if you are looking at learning everything there is to know about Northern Colorado and Fort Collins. Eating, sleeping, playing, working, moving too. And if you're considering buying, selling, or investing here in Northern Colorado, give me a call, text, email. I've got your back. Now, without any further delay, let's jump into today's video. 5 steps when moving to Northern Colorado and Fort Collins, Colorado. Here we go. So number 1, you've got to decide that Fort Collins is the place for you. And the best way to do that is either you've had experience in Fort Collins as a student, or have driven through it, visited it, have family, or you just happen to find it on the internet as one of the best places to live in the country, and then decided that this is going to be a place that you're going to explore. So you've got to decide that Fort Collins is for you. And the way that a lot of people are doing that is by coming out and visiting it for a week with their spouse that might not necessarily have the experience with Northern Colorado or Fort Collins, or really just want to get a kind of cultural community feel if this is the right vibe for them. Now, without necessarily tracking it down to the exact number, I would say it's an 80-20 split. 80% of the people that come here to visit Fort Collins they're sold on it. You know, this is the place for them. Everything checks the boxes. They love it. But there is about 20% of the people that move here or that come to visit here that determine, this is not the right place. Great area, awesome community, but not the right place for me because maybe it doesn't have the density that I want, or I get a job opportunity down in Denver, or potentially not enough diversity. If you go and you watch some of my pros and cons videos, living in Fort Collins videos, and different ideas about this area, it could kind of determine maybe some reasons why people don't move here or want to move away. But about 80% when they come to visit Fort Collins, they are sold on it for, one of the many reasons why Fort Collins is such a great place. But step number 1 is absolutely, you have to decide that Fort Collins or Northern Colorado is the place for you and yours. Step number 2, from there, you've got to decide, are you going to buy first or rent first? Or are you going to rent short term and then buy? Or are you going to buy 100% virtually? We have worked with people from across that spectrum. We have worked with people who come here for a weekend or a week, have toured homes, offered on homes, closed, and moved out to Fort Collins about 2 months later. We have worked with people who have moved here, rented for an entire year or more, and then decided in the area or location or neighborhood that they really want to be in. And then everywhere in between, short-term rentals, month-to-month, 100% virtual showings. I would say those cause me personally the most anxiety because, the first time they see this $750,000 property is the day of closing. So I am just extremely cautious about those. And I'm very, very transparent when we are showing these homes virtually. 3D tours, pictures, inspections, we go above and beyond. But really, that is step number 2, is you got to decide whether you are going to buy or rent and then buy, and what your comfort level is. And really the way that you can kind of feel that out is just by asking questions. What does it look like? What are options? What time of the year is it? Is it a favorable time to be buying or renting? And Fort Collins is very seasonal with its inventory, both on rentals and sales. So those are all conversations that would be good to have for step number 2. And step number 3 is you've got to build your local team. Now, what I mean by that is Yes, you're watching this video, potentially considering moving to Fort Collins. Hopefully you give me and my team at Soukup Real Estate Services a chance to work with you. But we are born and raised here in Fort Collins, not necessarily everybody on the team, but Fort Collins or Loveland, we've got 2 of us. And we know the area forwards and backwards, and we pretty much work exclusively in Northern Colorado. But the second part of that is probably one of the more vital parts in today's real estate market. And that is having a local lender work with you. And the reason for that is because relationships are key in this super hot and scary and hot and fiery market. Because sometimes the listing agent might have a relationship with that lender or have done deals with that lender in the past, and their comfort level is much, much stronger than what it could be if you were using, a Wells Fargo even, or definitely a Quicken Loan / Rocket Mortgage or bank rate type lending institution. When you are working with a local team, you are a person with a face and a personality, and people focus on you. When you are working with a national lender or team that might not necessarily know Fort Collins, you are a number. You are applicant 16728 in Fort Collins, Colorado, with a DTI of X and a purchase price of Y. It doesn't bode well in the current market that we are in. So I would say step number 3, and an important one, is build your local team here in Northern Colorado. Alrighty, and then step number 4 is build a roadmap. Understand what the time it's going to take for you to either acquire a rental here in Northern Colorado or buying a home. Now, we've worked with clients who've literally contacted us on January 25th, and we have gone under contract on a home the first week of February and closed a month later. So, that was pretty quick, about 45 days. But if you are looking at renting a home, generally speaking, a lot of our landlords and property managers here in Fort Collins and Northern Colorado require at least a 60-day notice to vacate from their current tenants. That means they won't know what units are available until about 60 days out from their availability. So that being said, a lot of our rentals in Fort Collins are going to be available between May and September with really, really sparse inventory in between those time periods. But you're going to want to give yourself probably at minimum 2 weeks, because that's really all you need to view a handful of homes, apply, and then sign a lease and submit your security deposit. But generally speaking, anywhere between 2 weeks and 60 days should give you enough time to find and source a rental. Now, if you were looking at buying, let's just go through what a typical roadmap, a conservative roadmap might look like. Now, we are averaging about 4 offers per client. And a lot of properties that are coming onto the market right now are calling for offers. They're going onto the market on Thursday and they're calling for offers by Sunday. So generally speaking, clients are only able to offer on 1 property per week. And if we're averaging 4 offers per client, that's 28 days. The standard contract for Fort Collins and Northern Colorado and Colorado is going to be about between 21 to 45 days if you're working on a financed offer. And then from there, also, there is a significant amount, probably anywhere from 20 to 30% of homes that are asking for a post-occupancy of anywhere between 2 to 5 days up to 15 to 60 days. So when you reverse engineer the time it's going to take for you to buy a home in Fort Collins, you're really looking anywhere between 60 to 120 days plus for you to be able to buy a home here in Fort Collins. So definitely want to plan accordingly. Now again, we can do much, much faster than that, but we're talking about $500,000 to $750,000 asset and above. So why put any unnecessary pressure if you can plan ahead? So step number 4 is make sure, if whether you're going to buy or rent, to build yourself a roadmap and a timeline of what it's going to take for you to source and acquire and secure that home for you to move to Northern Colorado. And finally, step number 5, coordinating your move. This again is where having a local team who has done a fair amount of transactions across country, across the world, will help. They can help you with national movers, ideas. It would look like for pods, setting up vendors. So if you are going to do some remodeling on this home that you are buying, you are going to want to get vendors in there. So whether that is the team that you have, your local realtor or team has the ability to submit, put a lockbox on there after you close, give combos out to vendors or meet vendors out at the property to discuss, FaceTime, things of that nature. That's really going to be important if you're looking at doing some remodeling, whether that's as simple as getting it new carpet and paint or potentially finishing the basement or kitchen before you move in. Which is also something to where you're going to want to have eyes on the property while you are not here and you are making your move. Something that I'm seeing with a lot of my movers that are coming across the country is they might close on, let's just say, December 15th. But because of work circumstances or whatever wasn't able to line up perfectly, they're not moving out until December 10th. And during those 20 to 30 days, you want somebody to go and have eyes on the property. One of the things that I talk about with my investment properties and rentals is the worst type of property is a vacant property. And the reason is because at any time you could have a water leak or somebody squats and breaks in or anything along those lines. Now, granted, fortunately in Fort Collins, we don't have a ton of squatter issues, but we do have freezing weather, which could, if not looked at properly and kept your thermostat above 65 degrees during those cold snaps, freeze pipes. So it is important to get people boots on the ground, eyes on the property. Again, this is a $500,000 to $1 million investment for you. So have a team that's willing and ready and able to go take a look at that property for you on a weekly basis, and also be boots on the ground for you if you're looking at doing renovation, remodeling, and getting a clean, smooth transition for you and your family, or you and your partner, or you and your fur babies to transition to here, Northern Colorado, smoothly. So there you have it, folks, the 5 steps of moving to Fort Collins and Northern Colorado. Again, step number 1, decide that Fort Collins is for you. 2, buy or rent. Step number 3, building your local team. Have a local realtor and a local lender. Step number 4, build your roadmap, your timeline, what it looks like, having people with experience in this market, what it can help you determine a good, clean transition. And then finally, step number 5, make and coordinate the move. And those 5 steps should really help you get a leg up in what this process looks like when you are making this massive, massive life transition. And if you want any further details or anything that you're specifically asking or inquiring about, or if you're looking at moving to Fort Collins in Northern Colorado and want to start building your team, definitely feel free to reach out to us, comment below, send me an email, text, give me a call, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your comfort level is. Definitely happy to talk to you. And I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully this video has helped. And until next time, guys, take care.